Cody Rhodes recently shocked fans by revealing the extent of an injury he received prior to the Hell in a Cell event earlier this month. The superstar recently made his return to WWE at WrestleMania 38, but shocked the world earlier this month as he showed off what appeared to be a horrific injury. Today, we are discussing Rhodes leaving the WWE world speechless after revealing his horror injury. Stay with us. First of all, let's have a quick look at his WWE career. Fans of pro wrestling will be well aware of the fact that Cody Garrett Runnels Rhodes followed in his father Dusty Rhodes' footsteps by joining the WWE almost straight out of college. He also gained valuable experience whilst in high school, serving as a referee in his father's Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling promotion. During his first stint with the world's foremost wrestling company, where he spent a decade from 2006, he performed under various different personas, including his real name as well as Stardust. During his first stint with WWE, he teamed with Hardcore Holly, as well as forming another formidable partnership with Ted DiBiase as the Legacy. He was then drafted to SmackDown, where he took on a narcissistic persona, demanding to be called Dashing Cody Rhodes, then going on to bag the Intercontinental title. Not long after this, he formed a partnership with Damien Sandow, who were known as Team Rhodes Scholars, before aligning with Stardust as part of the Brotherhood. But Rhodes wasn't completely happy with his role within the company, and in 2016, he decided to request his release from the WWE, citing frustration with the company's creative department, as well as his position within the company. Just one day after his request, it was granted, but whilst he has never spoken badly of the company, he has revealed that Triple H took his request particularly badly. However, after 6 years away, he returned to the company earlier this year to the delight of his fans. Next up, we're discussing his recent injury. Stay with us. Rhodes appeared on Monday Night Raw earlier this month, soon after his Hell in a Cell matchup against Seth Rollins. During his appearance, he left fans of the show stunned after revealing the extent of an injury he had sustained in the build-up to the fight. The Georgia State champion wrestler had completely torn his right pectoral muscle, which the WWE said had happened the week before on Raw. When the former Intercontinental Champion took off his robe, those inside the arena could be heard gasping, as the right pec seemed to be completely bloodied and bruised under the skin. The injury had reportedly gotten worse over the week, with Kayla Braxton informing fans that Rhodes himself had aggravated the injury whilst weight training before Hell in a Cell. He had reportedly taken the tendon off the bone completely, which sounds as bad as it looked. However, Rhodes was still able to overcome his current adversary Rollins, winning via sledgehammer to seal the win. And given the injury to Rhodes, Rollins only has himself to blame, really. After the show, Rhodes referenced the fact that he wasn't going to give up the opportunity to appear in Chicago, saying, "You guys paid your money to see me. I wasn't missing my return to Chicago at the Allstate Arena. We will get through this, and I'll update you all tomorrow." Pretty brutal. What did you guys make of Rhodes' injury? So, how did the WWE world react to Rhodes' horror injury? Well, of course, most people were split between Rhodes' bravery at carrying on and not letting an injury stop him from performing, and the perceived stupidity of doing so. As we all know, pro wrestling is one of the toughest sports the body can go through, so if a wrestler is clearly injured, they should really take time off to get back to full fitness and make sure they are 100% going forward. Rhodes himself tweeted a simple, "For the love of the game," whilst Brian Myers referred to him as an absolute warrior on Twitter. Some fans referenced the clear comparison between Rhodes and Mick Foley, another Hell in a Cell legend, and the abuse that guy has put his body through should provide a stark warning to Rhodes before he pulls a stunt like this again. Others described Rhodes' performance as uncomfortable to watch, but plenty of people spoke of the pride, guts, and will it took for him to perform. Some were completely split, saying that even though you have to respect Rhodes for doing what he did, it is still pretty dumb. While some labeled the performance as crazy and gnarly, while some even went as far as to call it one of the greatest performances of all time, given what he had to endure. Where do you guys stand on the debate? Should Rhodes have pulled out and gotten treatment, or was it his call? So what do we know about his return? Stick around to find out. Well, it will come as a shock to absolutely nobody that almost immediately after his appearance on Raw earlier this week, Rhodes was scheduled for surgery to repair the torn pectoral. And during SmackDown a couple of days after his last appearance, commentator Michael Cole suggested that Rhodes could be set for up to 9 months on the sidelines. Of course, nobody wants this, least of all Rhodes himself, given the fact he has only just returned to WWE action after 6 years away. But he reportedly expects to be back before this, as the surgery was thought to be successful. As of right now, those within the WWE are thought to be targeting the 2023 Royal Rumble, and the promotion are almost certainly going to build up his return as a huge storyline. Shortly after his surgery, Rhodes was photographed at the Nightmare Factory, the world-class wrestling training facility in Georgia, where the WWE star and his students train, showing his students the 1991 matchup between the legend that is Bret Hart and his longtime rival, Mr. Perfect. And earlier this week, he posted an update which read, "Majority bruising has drained down into my ribs and into my hip, Surgery was a bear. Lots of blood under there. Rhodes' injury and potential Royal Rumble return echoes that of Triple H 20 years ago, who suffered a horrific torn quad in a tag team matchup but went on to win the Royal Rumble the following year. Do you see this happening for Rhodes? Next up, some sad news to report. This past weekend, the WWE paid tribute to one of their legendary referees, Tim White, who passed away aged 68. White spent more than 2 decades with the promotion, appearing in a range of different roles, and the company said in a statement over the weekend, WWE is saddened to learn that longtime referee Tim White has passed away. For more than 2 decades, Tim White was a dedicated WWE referee and official. White began his illustrious career in 1985 working with Andre the Giant and as a part-time referee. The company then extended condolences to White's family and friends, and he will of course be sorely missed. Tim has officiated some of the promotion's most iconic matchups, including the legendary 1998 Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Mankind, which ended with Mick Foley suffering from some horrific injuries. And one of the first to pay tribute to White was Sexy Boy himself, Shawn Michaels, who said, "Saddened to hear about both Dave Hebner and Tim White, both incredible men I was privileged to spend time with in and out of the ring. My thoughts are with their families." White's career ended abruptly thanks to a recurring shoulder injury, but he stayed on, working behind the scenes to his credit to make the sport better. And BT Sport colleague Stu Bennett also released a statement after his passing, saying White was a total gent and a great laugh to hang out with. Very sad. And finally, some shocking news surrounding Vince McMahon. Stay with us. It's the end of an era for the WWE. It was revealed over the weekend that Vince McMahon, who has served as WWE CEO since the 1980s, had voluntarily stepped back from his responsibilities after it came to light that McMahon had paid off a former employee with whom he had had an affair. His daughter, Stephanie McMahon, will now take over as temporary CEO. McMahon has built the company into the world's leading wrestling promotion, launching the careers of global superstars such as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson during his stewardship. McMahon has promised to cooperate with any investigation and has also pledged to accept the findings and outcome of the investigation, whatever they are. The incident has been labeled a hush money pact, but by all accounts the affair was consensual. However, McMahon will retain his role and responsibilities related to WWE's content. It is thought that the WWE's board of directors are in possession of an agreement between McMahon and an unnamed employee, which promised to double the woman's salary shortly after their affair started. Oh dear. What do you guys make of all of this? Let us know below. As always, thanks for joining us today, and remember to tune in next time for some more interesting bits and pieces. And why not do us a big favor and share today's video with any avid WWE heads you might have lurking on those socials. Bye guys.